Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Thursday Night Mini Healings. I'm Summer Avalon, and I am glad you're here. It is going to be a fun night. Got a few mini healing things planned. Nothing new, but always fun and interesting what comes up. So I'm seeing Marina here already. Welcome, Marina. Glad you're here. Trying to think what else is new. I mowed my yard today. I have grass everywhere. In my hair, because the wind was blowing, but the yard looks actually really nice. And Duncan and Dexter have their toys all out in the mowed grass, getting them just all messy, and now they're bringing them into the house covered in grass. Ooh, Carolina. That is a cool name. Welcome. Definitely a new name. Oh, and there's Tanya. Have not seen you in a while, so welcome. Glad you're here. So at 10 after, we are going to start with our first healing pulse, and that only lasts a couple minutes, and then we will jump right into doing sort of a takeoff on the emotion code, where we look for underlying reasons why certain things are happening. And so if at any point you want to put something in the comments about something you're working on, it can be physical, emotional, mental, spirit, or relationship based, I will see if I can find an underlying reason for it. Keep in mind, if it's a chronic condition, it's usually multiple layers. So you might need a private session, or you might just have to show up week after week. But usually the tools I use on a Thursday night are pretty simple, so I want to help as many people as I can in a short time. Wow, Joan, there you are. Welcome. Or does this mean you're leaving early on us? I'm trying to think what else. Oh, today is show number 104. Do you believe that? I just think that's pretty cool. Wow, that's very nice, Joan. Joan is a hockey player out on the West Coast. Yes, very exciting. When she isn't doing her law thing. So, sounds sort of glamorous, doesn't it? But glad you could be here, Joan. What else? So this week, I think we had a full moon. What was that, the 14th? Sometimes there's a few of you that are full moon sensitive, but hopefully since it's been a few days, you've recovered. But if not, you can put that in the comments too. So at the end of the night, we are going to do, let me see what we did last time. So I think this time, we always do the aura strengthening, but I think we will do the brain balancing just because so many people like that. Ooh, and it's 10 after. So we are going to start with our first healing event, and it's called the Healing Pulse. This is a tool of my own making. It includes frequencies of me, my personal frequencies. So Joanne says she's got no sound. Let me just see. I seem to be okay with sound. I can see the levels turning. Is that just an issue with Joanne, or does everyone else have an issue? Let me write this down since we'll see. Okay, so Joanne, it sounds like It must be an issue with your iPad. Maybe close it down and then start it back up, and hopefully it'll reset your sound. Or do you have your earbuds plugged in but you don't have them in? That could be something. It's like, So let me just, I'm going to take off that ticker. There it goes. Okay, so let's see. Okay, good, Joanne. Glad it works. Wow, Joan, that sounds like a pretty positive full moon. So let's start with our first healing pulse. So with this, think about where you would like to receive the energy. If you've got something physical going on, that's pretty simple. That's where you'll want to receive the energy. But if it's something emotional, I want you to think about where you feel that emotion. It's probably a little bit more easy if it's something like anxiety. For me, it's like in the pit of my stomach usually. But if you've got some other things going on and don't really have a location, I suggest you send the energy to your head or your heart. So I want you to rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands are on yours. And then the most important is just be open and allowing, letting the energy flow. Allowing it to go exactly where it needs to go. So just breathe in that energy. Imagine with each breath in, it's going a little deeper, a little further, doing exactly what it needs to do. As you exhale, imagine that a piece of whatever it was that wasn't serving you is releasing. So imagine the healing coming in and a release on your breath out. So just open and allowing, especially for your newbies. Do you feel the pulse? You feel the energy come in? Not everybody does. But if you do, it can be pretty amazing. And even if you don't, please stay around because there's other things that happen on a Thursday night that if you're not energy sensitive, still might help you. So just keep breathing in and out with that healing. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse of the night. We will probably have two more. And so, Joanne, do you want to work on your anxiety? Welcome, Angie. Glad to see you. Just making sure I didn't miss anyone. So please put what you want to work on in your comments. Just making sure I didn't. So Carolina, if you just want to observe, feel free. But if you're comfortable, oh, Marina's in Iceland. Yay! Okay. Marina, I'm just glad you got out of Croatia. All right, so Marina, better job. Yeah, that's disappointing. Oh, thank you for that adjustment. I think I said it that way because of Neil Diamond, that Sweet Caroline song. Whenever I go to a hockey game, that's what they play, at least once. Yes, Marina, I am glad you're there. All right, Carolina, so I'm going to put you down as self-acceptance. Joanna, you've confirmed that you're going to work on anxiety. Just making sure I didn't miss anyone. Wonderful, Jane. Angie wants to work on money blocks. All right, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone. So Marina, Carolina, Joanne, Angie. So I'm just scrolling. All right, so Jane wants to work on organization at home. Sounds like a nice summer project for you, Jane. So Carolina, would you rather have that than the self-acceptance? You typically focus on one thing to get everybody in. Yes, you did, Leslie. Great job, because I know your Thursdays are often pretty busy. So I'm going to start with Marina. And Marina did get a summer job. She is now in Iceland, but she wants, it wasn't, when she arrived, it wasn't the job that they said. So we're going to focus on her finding a job that is more of what she's excited about, you know, what she went there for. So let's see what that would be. So Leslie wants to work on, oh, and there's Joan too. So Carolina, I'm sorry, which one? The first one or the second one? All right, so Joan receiving and being receptive. Oh, that's nice, Joan. And Leslie blocking negativity. That's a good one too. All right, so let's see. Still working on Marina. Okay, so Carolina blocks to accession. Okay. All right, Marina, minimalized. Let me get an age on that. Not sure what they did on your job too. They teased you with something good and then they minimalized it and gave you something less. So let's see what age this happened at initially. 16, Marina. So ages are the toughest thing. So somewhere within a year. So probably 15, 16, 17. I'm going to yes for your mom. So let's release that. Okay, so that released. Carolina is next. So I've got a few things written down. I think I know what you want, so we're going to work on blocks to ascension and using your gifts. So let's see what that would be. Unmindful. So this is sort of a theme for an event that happened. Let me get an age on this. Yes, Marina, I hope that helps. Around age 19. So Carolina's somewhere 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to go ahead and release that and fill the voids with healing energy. So that helps you get a piece closer to where you want to be. Joanne, we're going to work on that anxiety for your medical issue. That sounds a little scary, so mocked, Joanne. Let me get an age on that and see if maybe an event will come to mind. So the good and the bad is sometimes it's really helpful to be able to match the emotion with an event. It makes it stronger, I think, more real. But the good thing is, it usually lets me know if I can't clear it. So, all right. So Joanne, let's see, mocked. 46, Joanne. So let's release that because that's adding a layer to your anxiousness. Yes, I think that is awesome, Marina, because I'm hoping now that you're settled somewhere, you can find the right place once you're there. Angie wants to work on money blocks. So let's see what comes up for her. Depressed. Let's see if we have an age on that. Around age 28, Angie. So let's go ahead and release that. That's not helpful. Oh, there's Magda. Magda, welcome back. You can try. So I will put you on the list, Magda. But if it's serious, you know, sometimes it takes more than just one thing. All right, so I've released depressed for Angie. Jane is next. Jane has the summer off because she teaches, and she wants to work on organizing her home, which can be a challenge, and especially when you have months off, being motivated to do it and not put it off. I think for me that would be challenging. Jane, you're not going to believe this. Undisciplined came up, which that actually makes sense because if you have undisciplined as a trapped emotion, it's hard for you to be disciplined. Let me see about an age for this. 18, Jane. So let's release that and hopefully that'll make it a little easier to get things done this summer. So I did release. All right. Joan wants to work on receiving and being receptive. Well, you know how to release, Joan. Go for it. Let me know how that goes. Yep, some of you, I've taught you what to do. Although I'd probably rather have you as clients because I miss some of you. But it's good that you know how to heal yourself, at least on the base level, right? Okay, Joan, let's see. Deprived, Joan. Let's get an age for that. Age 9. Ooh, you're just itty bitty. Let's release that because that's you're hanging on to that this many years later. So I did release, but somehow that was playing a role in you're not receiving. Interesting things that are matching up. Wow, Jane, that's a good reflection. Okay, Leslie, blocking negativity, which that's a job in itself. So let's see if we can take the edge off you a bit, Leslie. Irresponsible. Let's get an age. Getting like age 48, Leslie. Does that sound? I'm not getting this as yours. Usually when things like this come up for, well, usually any of these things that come up that I pull for you are actually yours. But every once in a while, it's not yours. It's someone that was pretty close to you, but their negative emotion or event that causes negative emotions has affected you. So let's remove how this irresponsible event has affected you regarding negativity. So I did release. Magda is heartbroken, which I'm sorry about that. Let me see if we'll see if we can take the edge off tonight, Magda. I would suggest for the next healing pulse, which we're going to do as soon as I find your negative emotion, is send energy to your heart. So now this may or may not be related to what's going on right now, currently, Magda, but the energy of it oftentimes has themes, and so this is part of what's made you so sensitive to this particular issue, and it's punished. So I don't know if that's more of an emotional punishment. So let me see what age you were when this initially happened. So things happen in layers, and the more layers you have of the same thing, more sensitive you are to it. And the sad thing is it may not even be what's the word? So when you have so many layers of the same emotion, it elevates your sensitivity. And so it makes you just super, super sensitive. And that might not be the actual truth because you are just so super sensitive. Hope I'm explaining that right, that you can understand that. All right, so let me get an age for punished. 16 Magda. And so ages are the toughest, so plus or minus a year. So somewhere 15, 16, 17, you were punished. So let's release that. Wow, Leslie, I always like that kind of feedback when I'm right on with that, because sometimes it seems a little odd, but yeah, I'm glad you could relate to that. All right, so let's do our next healing pulse. So with this, I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy. So Magda, I want your hands on your heart. After you rub your hands, so everyone else, rub your hands and then decide where you want to receive the energy. If it's something physical, that's easy. If it's something emotional, think about where you feel that emotion. And if you're not sure, yes, so that feeling of punishment, there's something that is similar to what you're going through now. So taking away a layer of that hopefully will take the edge off a bit. Wonderful, Victoria. Victoria's been very sick, and so I am thrilled that she is here tonight. So welcome, Victoria. We are just doing a healing pulse right now. So place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. And then just breathe in that healing energy. And be open and allowing. For those of you who experience greater healing using breath, I suggest you start with the box breath. So we'll do a really deep inhale, and when you can't inhale any longer, then I want you to hold it. And then when you can't hold it any longer, exhale and really draw out that exhalation. And then when all your breath is gone, hold it. So you're going to go in and hold. Out and hold. And keep doing that. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 2. So I do my little commercial for tonight. So I have a question for you guys. Back when we were doing remember the wand, and I was doing those free sessions, and I put out my calendar that was available Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but that was the only days, just because those are typically my lightest days. But I'm thinking, if I'm available almost every day for sessions, is that misleading if I leave it out there as available on Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Am I thinking it probably is? Sometimes I don't think things through all the way when it comes to Things like that. Let me know what you think about that. So, because I am available every day for healing sessions pretty much. And I don't fill up my days because it takes a lot out of me, but generally I've got at least one session open in a day. And sometimes it's filled and sometimes it's not. I've got a lot of Reiki things going on. I just signed up for a Reiki masterclass. And the cool thing about this is it's all about science and Reiki. And I'm thinking it's going to go through some studies and talk about what the results were. So I think there's like 3 sessions or something like that. So that's pretty exciting. I'm teaching Reiki Holy Fire 1 and 2 this weekend online. If you would like to be involved in learning Reiki, let me know. I'm thinking I might be doing a class in the fall. The cost is $430 and it's a 2-day class. Next month, in a few weeks, I am taking Holy Fire Karuna, which even though I've taken the other levels, just regular Yusui, I have not taken Karuna. And so keep your eye out for another Reiki energy video because I like to do the videos comparing the different energies. And so once I take the Karuna class, I'll do something that compares the regular Holy Fire master level energies to the Karuna energies, and then I'll compare it to the Yusui Reiki that I learned like 10 years ago. So pretty interesting. And then my final thing, so I'm really obsessed lately with the hypnosis thing, and on my Facebook page I did talk about this book here. So I just finished this book, but I keep adding more things to add. So a typical session is 3 to 4 hours, although some practitioners, their sessions are more 5 to 6 hours. And I think it's because they have just a lot of things. So one of the things I learned from this book is you can contact your angels. So if you want to contact a specific angel, that is a possibility. So then, this is my next book I'm reading, Life Between Lives, which I love the title. So this book is not really about working with past lives, but connecting and reaching out and learning about what do you do between your past lives, between like what did you do your life before this where you died and before when you came in. What did you learn? Did you have an assignment? So I'm just like totally fascinated with this. I'm like, So starting June 21st, I am doing paid, I'm calling it metaphysical hypnosis sessions or regression sessions. And as I said, they're 3 to 4 hours. The cost is $199. They are entirely online. And I record it because if there's any healing that is done in the session, healing can be made even deeper if you listen to the recording. So I think that's it for my commercial. A little longer than typical, so thank you for bearing with me. I'm just going to see what. All right, Anne-Marie. So Anne-Marie, I'm going to add you to the list. What time is it? And then commitment. And then we're going to work on positive emotions. Thank you, Joan. I think it's cool too. And Leslie. Yes, Marina, my most recent Reiki video, I did compare regular Reiki to Holy Fire Reiki. And then I also did Reiki and a pendulum because pendulum healing is different than Reiki healing. And so I did that together. And then at the very end, I did Reiki, and then I also added energy called Shambhala and my own personal healing frequencies. So that's on Facebook and YouTube if that interests you. Too funny, Marina. Yes, there's just so many cool things. So it's like there needs to be more hours in the day, I think. And then you start watching YouTube because there are people that have done some of this and they record their sessions and it just sort of sucks you in. So let's do positive emotions. If we have time at the end, I will look at negative beliefs as a group, but let's do the positive emotions because I think that's more important to get everybody in. So if you want to do that, please put a yes in the comments. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on Anne Marie and her commitment. Unimportant, Anne Marie. Around age 20. So that released, Anne Marie. I'm glad you're able to come in tonight. Yes, Victoria, very fascinating. Ooh, and there is Barbara. Wonderful. Yes, I actually use this in healing. I don't do too much in-person healing work, but every once in a while when I have someone on my table, I use it. Okay, so I'm starting my list. So with this, what I do is I find a positive emotion and I match up what's yours and then I reinforce it. So let me just see. All right, so it looks like Leslie was the first one that got in with the yeses. So Leslie, Magda, Carolina, Marina, Barbara. Thanks for that feedback, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, I'm also adding you to the list. Joanne. Okay, let's see. So with the negative emotions, I have about 400. With the positive, I think it's more like 200. Let's see what comes up. Invincible, Leslie. Oh, that's a nice one. So, and for those of you new, I always am curious about who likes another's word and borrows it. All right, so Magda, let's see what you get. Cooperative. Does make me wonder if that's related to something else. Carolina, let's see what you get. So those are all reinforced. All right, so Carolina gets Balanced. Oh, that's a nice one. Marina, what do you get? Ooh, invigorated, Marina. That's cool. All right, let's see. I've got Jane. Yes, I think Invincible. That's sort of a cool one, isn't it? Yes, we're getting some pretty good words today. All right, Barbara, you are next. Flowing, Barbara. That's another one. Fabulous. Yes, definitely for all humanity. All right, Anne Marie, let's see what you get. Oh, Anne Marie, you got forceful, but only in the best way, right? So forceful for Anne Marie. Joanne, let's see what you get. Joanne got satisfied. That's a nice one. So let's reinforce that. All right, so I've just got Jane on my list. Did I miss Joan or anyone else? Jane, you got focused. And when I think about your summer project, that's a nice one. So let's reinforce that. Yes, that might be a nice one. Yes, I did miss you. Oh, and Victoria. All right, so let's see what Joan gets. Joan got unique, another good one. Gosh, so many really good ones tonight. Okay, Victoria, let's see what yours is. Fulfilled. Oh, that's a nice one too. Wow, you guys. It's a very positive night for these. So, I think I want to pull 2 negative beliefs for the group, and then we'll do brain balancing and the aura strengthening. So let me just get my list. All right, so the first one, negative belief, is I am uninteresting. I don't recall getting that before for the group. 65% of you have had this at some point. So let's release that. All right, and there's one more. So let's see what that is. I am stupid. I hate that saying. Let's see what percent this is. Imagine that going away, Leslie. Yes, Anne-Marie, you need to be forceful sometimes. You do. All right. Let's see what percent have I am stupid. So 70%. Wow, so that's almost 3/4 of you have had I am stupid. And so at some moment in time you felt that, and that icky negative energy stuck with you. So let's get rid of that too. So I did release. Okay, next we're going to do Jane's favorite, brain balancing. So with this, we're going to do 2 different ways. So what this does is it helps put the brain back into balance. And so it helps you in not just physical ways, but mental ways too. And so it can be really quite powerful. And I would suggest using it when you need to be more level-headed. So say you've got a meeting or something going on that you just need to be more thoughtful about things, or if you've got something physical that's going on and you need to make sure that your body is balanced and functioning how you should. That's what Joan, when you do your biking, especially your competitive things, have you tried doing this maybe before in the car and just seeing if it helps your body? Because I think it will. All right, so with this, rub your hands together. So we are going to do where you're going to put one hand here and you're going to put one hand here. And so what this is the front and the back of your third eye. And so I want you to start at the front of your third eye here. So you're going to imagine the energy from this hand going to your other hand. And so this actually goes through your pineal gland. So this helps with your intuition. And many of us, especially if you live in an area that has fluoridated water, your pineal gland probably has at least a little, and probably more likely have a lot of calcification. And so this is something that is one of the things that you can do to work on cracking that calcification, but generally it takes a lot of effort to do that. So I'm just sending the energy back and forth. So like right now, and many of you know this, I don't often feel things. Although the more I do the healing work, the more I do feel things. And the more I work on myself and release blocks, the more I feel things. But right now, especially my front hand is really heating up. And my back hand is tingling. So how cool is that? So I'm just, sending the energy back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so that's the first half, the brain balancing. The next half is we're going to increase and improve your neural pathways between the left and right hemispheres. So I want you to take 2 fingers, each hand, and I want you to put them about 1 inch above your ear and push through your hair. So this also connects through the pineal gland. And so I want you to either take your own personal healing frequencies, which we all have. They just might not have been used very much, but I want you to get used to using it. Or you can also use healing pulse energy. And to do that, basically you just call in the energy. So you rub your hands together right before you place your hands on your head, and then pick a hand. And with that hand, I want you to imagine that you're gathering the energy. So imagine that the energy is just spinning around in the palm of your hand. When that hand gets full, I want you to start sending the energy to your other hand. And so the first couple times it'll go a little slow. So like right now for me, it's about a quarter of the way through. It's about halfway. It's about 3/4 of the way through. And now it's exiting. So I'm gathering that energy in that hand. Once that hand gets full, then I'm going to send it back to the other hand. And with this, it'll go a little faster, but not really fast. So when you're done, it'll be more like a laser pointer. But right now, it's a little slow. So right now for me, it's about halfway. And now it's exiting. So gather that energy. And so now I'm going to let you guys control your speed. And in the end, when you're done, it is just going to zip back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And just imagine that energy allowing those pathways to widen and strengthen. Just breathe that in, allow the energy to flow. So, and that was brain balancing. Let me know how you did with that. And then we will be doing the aura strengthening next. Everybody's so quiet. Although I know there's been a few sessions where later on people tell me, oh, I fell asleep. So I'm hoping that there's at least a few of you awake. That is the good and the bad about me being up here just chattering to you guys. And then everybody's snoozing. Good, Magda. I'm hoping that really helps take the edge off what you're going through. Nice, Joanne. Love to hear that. Well, and especially, Joanne, with the stress that you're going through, I'm hoping that helps you too. Yes, Victoria. Okay, so next we're going to do nice, Leslie. The more you do it, the more I think you feel it. It's like a muscle. Very nice, Victoria. I'm glad that it was soothing. Okay, so with the aura strengthening, this is another one I also encourage you to use your own healing energies. Good, Joanne. Thank you guys for sharing. That helps me to know that sometimes when I don't hear from you guys, I think maybe I need to change things up a bit. But when you experience things like that, it tells me that I should be doing that. So yes. So with the aura strengthening, the importance of it is that when your aura is strong, it has, it's stronger and it can help to repel negativity. And you feel less, especially if you're empathic. And I know many of you are. So if you're going out in the community and you know you're sensitive, before you leave the house or when you're sitting in your car, do this and it will help you deal with being out in a community where there's not always good people around you. Excuse me. So to do this, If you're going to use your own healing frequencies, just rub your hands together and you're going to use your own healing frequencies. If you're going to pull in healing, wonderful, Carolina. Thank you for sharing that. So if you're going to use the healing pulse energy, it's all about intention. So just know that you just need to think the thought that you're going to use healing pulse energies along with your healing frequencies. So rub your hands together and then start beaming to your aura. So this past weekend, my Reiki group, we had a little mini training. We get together once a month. And so this past month, the training was on subtle energy levels with the aura. And there are 7 levels that we worked with. Or we learned about, I should say. We didn't really work with them, but always good to keep learning things. So what are you guys feeling now? So like right now, I've got my hands tingling because I'm all hyped up from all the energy tonight. So it's sort of cool when that happens. You are welcome, Joan. Okay, so that is it for aura strengthening and brain balancing. So thank you so much. It's been just a fun night. Nice to see my regulars, but nice to see new people too. Oh, good, Anne-Marie. You're welcome, Victoria. I hope you're doing better. You are welcome, Marina. Happy thoughts on you getting a new job where you're at. Good, Leslie. Very good. Namaste, Carolina. Good, Victoria. You're needed. And on that note, have a fabulous night, and I will see everyone next week, hopefully. Good night.